Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about when I use perspective Livescope versus forward mode Livescope. Well, there's three different types of Livescope. You have the down view, you have the forward view, and then you have the perspective view. And they're all good for their own little thing. The down view is more for vertical fishing, which I don't do a whole lot. So today I'm going to talk about the forward mode and the perspective mode. The difference between perspective and forward mode is the orientation that the Livescope transducer is in. So with forward mode, it's vertical, and with the perspective mode, it is in a horizontal orientation. And what that does is it shoots a 20-degree angle cone and a 135-degree angle cone. So when you put it in a horizontal mode, it's going to be shooting 135 degrees that way, like such, and it'll be shooting 25 degrees towards the bottom. But if you put it in forward mode, it's going to be doing the exact opposite. So it'll be shooting 135 this way and 20 degrees this way. So left to right, it'll be a little bit about 20 degrees. And you'll kind of notice that, whereas if you see a fish on your screen, if you miss it by just a little bit, it'll be a little bit blurrier and not show up as bright, whereas if you are aimed directly at it, it'll be a really bright dot. In my opinion, I think they're both good in different times. I really think that shallow fishing, the perspective mode really shines, whereas deeper fishing, your forward mode is going to definitely shine. The reason that is as you get shallower, your forward mode kind of starts to blur a little bit and get a lot pixelated, and you don't really see as good of a picture. So like if you're in like 2 or 3 or even down to like 5 feet, you really, your forward mode really starts to get a little bit not as clear and you can't see as much. The other thing with that cone angle is that perspective mode is going to be showing 135 degrees out in front of you, whereas the other one will be showing like a 25-degree angle. And so basically that's going to give you more coverage and you'll be able to see more of what's going on, versus the forward mode, whereas the forward mode with the 20-degree angle, you're not going to be able to, you'll have to pan your trolling motor around a lot more in order to see what's out there, whereas the perspective, it shows a broader range and it'll show a little bit more of the area that you can look at a time. And the other thing that's important to note is that when you're looking at perspective mode, you can't really tell how deep like a suspended fish would be. Basically, you'll see the fish swimming, but say you're in 30 foot of water and that fish is in 10 foot of water. You'll see the fish swimming, but you don't know if that fish is in a foot of water or 30 feet of water or anywhere in between. Whereas perspective, you can kind of pan over there and you'll see that that fish is maybe suspended in 17 foot of water. So it's a lot more specific on the forward mode than it is on the perspective mode, whereas the perspective mode doesn't show you that depth perception. It'll just show you a lay of the land and it'll show you the fish swimming in and around that cover. In my opinion, the perspective mode shows a lot better for cover. So like it'll show the stumps a lot better, it'll show lay down, stuff like that. And you can see that target separation between limbs and things a lot better with the perspective mode than you do necessarily on the forward mode. So probably 99% of the time I use the Livescope in the forward orientation. And the reason I do that is I also have a Mega 360 on my boat. So that allows me to see that cover that I would see with the perspective mode. But I also can have the Livescope forward mode to see all the fish and see that depth perception that I won't be able to see with the Mega 360 or with the perspective mount. So that's it's kind of a whatever works best for you, but that's the way I have my boat set up and it works out pretty good. Try both of them, try it out, see what works best for you. You can change the mount. If you have the perspective mount on your trolling motor, you can change it probably in 30 seconds or a minute at most. And you can play with that and see which view really works best for you in each situation. Like I said, shallower water is probably better for the perspective mode, and then a little deeper water is whenever that forward mode really shines. But I appreciate you guys watching. I have several other videos about electronics and stuff like that. If you guys want to follow the channel, that would be great. It helps out a bunch. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time.